My name is Sabila Khanifa. My student ID is 11. I'm from English Education Department. In this video, I would like to answer the questions for the comprehensive examination. The first question is, what is a teacher? A teacher is a professional educator who helps students learn and develop their knowledge, skills, and characters. A teacher doesn't only teach subjects in the classroom, but also guides students in their academic and professional growth. And teachers also plans lessons, explaining materials, and uses teaching method so the student can understand the lesson easily. So the teacher is not only a source of knowledge, but also a guide, facilitator, and role model for students. The second question is, mention and explain two main duties of a teacher. So, teacher has two main tasks or duties. The first is teaching and guiding students. Teaching and guiding students includes planning lessons, explaining learning materials, and using appropriate teaching methods to help students understand the subject. And the teacher also prepares learning activities and learning media to support the teaching and learning process in the classroom. And the second duty of teacher is guiding and evaluating students. Teacher guides students' learning progress, behavior, and attitudes. This includes giving advice, motivation, and feedback. And also teacher evaluates students' learning through assignments, tests, and observation to see how well students understand the lesson and to help them improve. The third question is, what is teaching module and its function and contents? So, teaching module is a learning plan prepared by a teacher to guide the learning and teaching process in the classroom. And the function of teaching module is to guide teachers in conducting systematic and structured lessons to ensure learning objectives are achieved and to help teachers manage time, materials, and assessment. And for contents in teaching module usually includes learning objectives, learning materials, teaching methods and activities, learning media and resources, assessment techniques. Next to the fourth question, mention some teaching methods that you know. Give an example one of your method you used during internship. So, teaching method that I know is lecture method. The lecture method is a method that a teacher explains the material directly to the students. And then, question and answer method is when teacher asks question to the students and students respond to question. This method is help to check students' understanding and encourages participation. And also discussion method, that is students discuss a topic in groups or as a class, and this method helps students to share their ideas and think critically. And the last one is problem-based learning or PBL. PBL is when students learn by solving real or contextual problems. So this method helps develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Okay, this is one example of teaching method that I used when I was in internship. When I was internship, I used problem-based learning combined with question and answer, explanation, and group discussion. The first, I started the lesson by asking some questions about the context. The students searched for the answers in their textbook and respond to the question. This activity helps activate their prior knowledge. And then I explain the material again to make sure the student clearly understood to the material. That is, read context, including its purpose and generic structure. And after that, I divided the students into small groups and gave them questions related to the generic structures of free context. And one group was asked to present their answers in front of the class. And next, I gave the students a recount text. In their groups, they discuss the text and answer questions about the detailed information and the generic structure of the text. And finally, I close the lesson by giving feedback, correcting mistakes, and summarizing the main point of free context together. Okay, the fifth question is mention and explain some evaluation methods. Give an example of one evaluation method you applied during internship. So several evaluation methods that I know is written tests. This method uses written questions such as multiple choice, fill in the blank, or essays. And this used to evaluate student understanding of the lesson. And the second is oral test. Oral test is when students answer question orally. This method is used to assess speaking skills and verbal understanding assignment. And assignment is when students are given tasks to complete individually or groups. This method helps evaluate students' understanding and responsibility. Observation. The teacher observes students' behavior, participation, and attitudes during the learning process. And for the example from my internship, I use written assignment to evaluate students when teaching recount text. The first, I asked students to fill in the blank using verb to check their understanding of the past tense. And then I also gave multiple choice question based on a recount text that had been provided. Through this question, I evaluated students' understanding of the text, including the detailed information and the generic structure of the context. These evaluation activities help me to see students' grammar, understanding, and reading comprehension clearly. Sixth question. What is meant by cognitive, motor, psychomotor, and affective abilities? So, cognitive ability refers to students' ability to think and understand learning materials. It includes skills such as remembering information, understanding concepts, analyzing ideas, and solving problems. And then, psychomotor ability refers to students' physical skills in learning activities, including actions such as writing, speaking, doing tasks, or performing activities in the classroom. And for the affective ability, it relates to students' attitude, values, and emotion during the learning process, including motivation, discipline, responsibility, cooperation, and respect for others. And for the last question, mention and explain the 4 teachers' competencies. Which competence do you still feel you lack? What efforts do you make to improve it? The 4 teacher competencies. The first, pedagogical competence. The pedagogical competence is the ability to manage students' learning, including understanding learners, designing and implementing instruction, and evaluating learning outcomes. And then the second is professional competence, is related to the material. It includes the capacity to continuously develop one's expertise and knowledge. And also in-depth mastery of subject matter, curriculum, and scientific discipline that related to the material. The third competency is personality or personal competence. A teacher characters must be steady, stable, mature, honest, and authoritative, acting as a positive role model for students. It involves empathy, integrity, and personal ethics. And the fourth is social competence. This competence is to communicate and interact effectively, including with students, parents, colleagues, and the wider community. And for the competence, I still need to improve and my effort among the four teachers' competencies. I feel that I am still less confident in pedagogical competence, especially in classroom management and time management. Sometimes managing students' attention and organizing activities in limited time can be challenging. However, I see this as a part of the learning process that as a prospective teacher. And to improve this pedagogical competence, I try to learn from experienced teacher during internship, reflecting on my teaching after each lesson and practice different teaching strategies. I also prepare lesson plans more carefully and improve my classroom instructions to be clearer and more effective. Uh, Through that practice and reflection, I believe my pedagogical competence will improve. Okay, that's all my answer. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.